Let me take the opportunity to introduce, although those who have joined and heard Vinkesh sir in past sessions must be aware about his rich experience and the rich portfolio he handles. So Vinkesh Gulati sir is ex-president Federation of Auto Dealers Association and currently executive committee member and he's director at United Group and is VP at ASTC India and several other profiles he's handling and his rich experience about the auto sector is conspicuous from the sessions which we did with him in the past and recently we have also seen that be it the anti-braking system or the rare metal situation, rare earth exports which China is majorly handling, right? So there are certain questions and apprehensions in the auto sector. So definitely we'll be covering these aspects. But apart from that, if there are any questions which are obviously not buy sell on any company, we will be happy to take those questions. So next 45 to 60 minutes will be I'm blessed to have his insights on the sector. And Vinkesh Gulati sir, we spoke last, and from there would appreciate if we start about the sales patterns across the segments, and then we come to the specifics of the questions and these two situations, be it the ABS compulsion and rare earth exports. Over to you, sir.
Thanks for inviting me again. I hope by the end of session I'm able to clarify a lot of things what are happening and how the auto industry is going ahead. So, like said, the last year had been overall good. The industry grew by around 6.46% on the whole, and major growth came from the two-wheeler segment, which had seen the biggest fall in the COVID times, which grew by around 8%. The passenger vehicle segment also grew by around 4.87%, which is around 5%. And CM, which is the manufacturing body, gave a similar, a bit tad lower, but around similar figure about the growth. I'm talking on the financial year front, not the calendar year front. And if we see the first 2 months of this financial year, the overall figures are similar. I'm once I want to clarify, I'm talking of the sales part, which is the end customer registration, means the vehicle which is manufactured, dispatched to dealers, and when the customers get it registered, which means it's the end of uh, production sale line. And if I see the first 2 months have been also a bit similar. We have been growing by 4.43%, but a bit of change here that the passenger vehicle or the car segment is not growing as good as what it was growing last year. It has grown just 1%. Two-wheeler again is continuing with their 5% growth. So these 2 months already show a challenging times ahead for the auto fraternity, and but we should also consider in these 2 months we had gone through a lot of external challenges, starting from India-Pakistan war, and then this Trump uh, issue of tariffs, and then because of all this, the share markets going down, and obviously then the sentiments going down. As you all are aware, the car purchase or any vehicle purchase, even a two-wheeler purchase, if not needed compulsory by a commercial decision or mandatory by a decision where you have to use a vehicle to go for office or school. Elsewhere, 95% times whenever you buy these vehicles, it's a happy moment in the family. And if the environment or the sentiments are not positive, normally people avoid or delay their purchases. And that is what we have seen for the past 2 months, what is happening. And uh, even today, we are in the similar position. We thought things are going back, tariff talks are now behind us. And then this Iran, Israel, US, all those issues have happened. which is again affecting. I'm 100% sure tomorrow morning when the share markets open, we all know that we all expect that there'll be a major drop in the indices and everything, which means again the sentiment will be hurt, and obviously we'll not be looking for a good retail in the coming month in June also. Coming back to auto industry on the whole, one major thing which is being seen this calendar year is the launches of product in the electric vehicle segment in the cars, which will slowly and steadily push EV adoption in the four-wheeler segment, which is passenger vehicle segment. So in the Bharat Mobility, Maruti showed their EV Tara. No doubt it's not yet launched. It will come in October, November, but they have a product now. Hyundai planned Creta. Obviously, it's also not on road. There are some challenges in both the product, but let me give you the product launches. And Mahindra launched their BEV vehicles, which is 6C and 9E vehicles, which they have done. There are other more product launches which are there, like Kia EV6 and all, but those are very high priced vehicles. So these are some vehicle, even Tata is planning a Harrier EV and all those things. So, but Mahindra was the only company which showed the product and launched the product, and they are now seeing good numbers happening every month. So if I talk about car EV segment in today, number one or two somewhere fixed between is MG with Windsor and Tata with their different products. And now Mahindra is also doing 2500 plus. So for the past 2 months, which is a good number. There are other players also who are working towards EV. So EV adoption slowly and steadily is increasing. What our thinking is that this year will be majorly for EV launches, and the coming year will become EV adoption ratio increase percentage things. Except for that EV thing in the passenger vehicle, overall the year is expected to be subdued. Subdued means we had seen figures like double figures and all that, but seeing a level of 4 million what Indian car industry has reached, we don't expect the double digit growth happening this year. The dispatches to dealer would grow around 2 to 5%. The registration or the customer sale figures will grow up around 4 to 8%. This is what we are looking at. So slowly and steadily, it is now clear there are top 6 auto OEMs who are stable or growing. So in the growing segment, it's Mahindra, Toyota, a bit of Kia. In the stable segment, you have Maruti, Hyundai, and Tata. So obviously, everybody who has been stable for some time, last 1 year or so, they are now thinking of growing. So we expect some growth happening, but that will be a subdued growth, a below 5% growth on a total average. Because post those 6 OEMs, there are a lot of OEMs who are wanting to do something, increase their numbers, launch product, but it won't make a big difference in the auto industry as a whole. Coming to the two-wheeler segment, two-wheeler is really seeing growth, supported by the rural economy now coming back, or you can say the sentiments in rural coming back. The Bharat is actually supporting the two-wheeler segment, and the electric vehicle adoption is also supporting the two-wheeler segment. So Hero, TVS, Bajaj, Yamaha, everybody, Honda, everybody is working towards it. Honda is one OEM which is still to launch, and they've already showcased their EV products, but still every dealer to have an OEM electric vehicle and selling. There's still time, I feel. By this year end, we'll see all the dealers having those products. Except for Honda, everybody has an electric vehicle two-wheeler, and luckily they are all selling those vehicles from their current legacy dealers. So initially, everybody thought that EV will be sold through a separate dealer channel, which affected because then internal competition started. But slowly and steadily now, like TVS did, now Bajaj is also doing it the same. Hero is also doing it. Their products are being sold from their regular dealers. On the other hand, the Ather is doing good in the premium segment. Ola is slowly coming back with all those issues they had in the past 3-4 years with related to registration, RTO issues, production issues, and all that. But in all those issues, they have lost their market share now. So Ola, which was always the number one, now is sometime number two, number three, or someone. It's going up and down. TVS and Bajaj are not only properly on track, and they are also seeing a good growth in the electric vehicle two-wheeler segment. What is a good sign to come? Now we are seeing 2-3 OEMs launching or in due process to be launched is EV motorcycle. That is which segment which was not, you can say, cashed in the market, because we still sell around 60% plus motorcycles in the two-wheeler segment, and scooters, जो electric vehicle, what we are selling today comes as a scooterette or a scooter segment, and that's only less than 40%. So whatever we do in electric vehicle, the scooter market is still less. No doubt scooter shares are improving, but still motorcycle is better required in the rural market where the places still the road is not good till their home. So villages, obviously, a lot of villages are now in the road infrastructure has improved, but still to their home, the roads are not still there. So why they take a motorcycle as it is? So I'm expecting that EV motorcycles will help us increase more EV percentage adoption and take the growth further. So two-wheeler overall will be good in this year. What we look at, passenger vehicle will be a bit subdued. Commercial vehicle will not show a major growth, again 0 to 5%, because even with the Indian economy growing, commercial vehicle is facing a lot of challenge from in-house, because auto OEMs are now shifting towards rail freight and even other transportation. The finished good product are using trains to transfer products in a faster way, because now the efficiency has come there and it's cheaper. And on the other hand, their target of sustainability is met there, because the trains use only electric movement. So they are saving on those fuel thing and working towards net zero, which our Prime Minister expects them to reach by 2070. So that is also hurting commercial vehicle on the total side. Two burning topic, what like as given in an introduction also. One is obviously rare earth thing. So now there was a question also on it. I'll cover it the way like it. See, rare earth materials are basically some 15 or 17 elements which are required for magnets, batteries, sensors, motors, catalytic converters, semiconductor, and all those things. And practically, if I try to identify what percentage of a car is rare earth material, I feel even a percent will be more than that. It will be very, very low, because it is used as a part in magnet. It's not that the magnet is full of rare earth. So it's but it's a very, very critical part also. And the issue with rare earth materials are that it doesn't make commercial sense to what you can say mine it and then sell it, unless and until it has a big turnover of utility. And it's very dangerous to mine a rare earth because of its nature. But yes, now the China and India issue, or China and world issue, has created a disruption or a problem for Indian auto OEMs along with other manufacturers also. So majority usage comes in electric vehicles, because magnets which are used in EV motors need uh, lanthanum, cerium, and all those things. They both are also used in NIMH batteries, which are being used today in hybrid vehicle we can made in India. There are a lot of like lithium, cobalt, and all rare earth is used in Leon battery cathodes and thermal management system, which are used for electric vehicles. So obviously, electric vehicle is one product, one type of product where a major effect will come. When I talk about ICE engine, which are still part of 95% of vehicles which we sell, internal combustion engine, we use some items which will get affected, but obviously without that, some item we can't produce the full vehicle. So like all the catalytic converters needs cerium. The sensors and electronic, they also rely on these rare earth materials. So like if I talk about infotainment or ADAS system, uh, any high performance electronics use europium or one or two parts of style of rare earth material. So like display panel, radar system, sensors. So if you are wanting to buy an entry level car which doesn't have a lot of features, I feel there would be less problem of rare earth material. But as you go towards, uh, I'll not term it luxury or premium, even a car which has very high features or feature rich, the problem is bigger. And as you go towards luxury or premium, where it is fully loaded by features, the problem is bigger because their requirement of components which use rare earth material, the ratio is high. And why is it challenge of India? Because we don't do anything like that in India, and more than 90% purchase comes from or through China. So, and the thing what has happened is we were already in loggerheads with China, and now this has created. So we do have some REM reserves in Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, or Tamil Nadu, which is being worked upon by IREL, which is a government body which is working on this mineral processing for this. But very frankly, we are not equipped enough to uh, manage this. So, with all this, what has ever happened for the past 2, 3 months, government is in touch with a lot of other government where they can. I'm not saying China, other governments too, where they can help in exploration and manage the supplies or even investment in this magnet recycling, nanomaterials, and non-RE motor technologies like induction motors. But whatever is this, it will not give a short-term solution to us. This is a long term. So no doubt, like I said in a statement where COVID created a problem with semiconductor or a disruption with semiconductor. But on the other hand, it created a big opportunity with Tata Motors captured it. So Tata Motors was the company which in early stages could find out alternate resources of semiconductor, and they saw their numbers from 2025 to 50,000 per month in as they could support them because other OEMs were still struggling. And at that time, even Indian government pitched in giving support through PLI and all those things to try that if semiconductor can be manufactured in India by the Indian players, and it happened. So we now have 5 or 7 Indian manufacturers who are in a process of building manufacturing units or in a process to, so that in a year or two they can do something in semiconductor. I'm not saying they can make it from base, but at least if they get the wafers, they can design those or manufacture something or not. So this is again an opportunity. Obviously, not short term, but long term. Government is thinking of supporting people or manufacturers who from abroad who want to set up something in India with rare earth material. And obviously, once it happens, because the way government is working for some time, I'm sure they'll be able to lure in at least 2, 3 parties or industries to set up plant of this, and it will help us in the longer run. So I feel rare earth answer I did on the full part. Now coming
So,
back,
so Venkesh, a small extension to this. So basically, on the rare earth only, aren't there any alternative materials? And also, if you could highlight the Chinese export licenses. I mean, are there any specific players who are only going to benefit and new entrants will face resistance in that? And also, as you say, manufacturing outside China, how easy or tough it would be if you have some sense around it?
so see, actually, it is too early to give such comments where which manufacturer will benefit. But you will have to search on your own because I'm not naming any OEM which is working on magnets as a raw material, motor as a final material, sensors. They are in a problem as of today. But there is an opportunity also that if they have two, three plants in world, or the one or two plants out of India in the world, maybe they are able to procure those materials there and they can ship in India. So I'll give you a small example. You must have heard that Hyundai Korea said that they are not in a problem because they have an year stocks of rare earth material. So if Hyundai Korea has it, they'll not want Hyundai India manufacturing to be closed because of want of that rare earth material, which is there in Korea. They'll transfer from there. So the similar way, the like any OEM, MNC OEMs who have their plants outside, any auto component who have their plants outside where this problem with China is not that major as India, they still have a solution there. As of today, there is no alternative with us where we can say to import rare earth material. But on the other hand, there are a lot of alternates in India to buy a motor from India, to buy a motor anywhere from the world, because only Indian auto manufacturers don't make motor. So there are a lot of manufacturers in Brazil, Korea, South Africa, or other places who manufacture motors. Obviously, Indian manufacturer will have to buy it from them. It will be a bit costly because then the transportation cost and all those things will get affected. But the short term problem will solve. And in that time, maybe some OEM or some component manufacturer will find a way how to get these items, make a part outside, and instead of importing rare earth material, import that part which is needed for making our manufacturing facilities. So as of now, there is no clear answer. But on the other hand, a lot of OEMs have worked some alternate way of getting the components which, see, no auto OEM in India imports rare earth material directly. They buy those components from the component manufacturers. Their supply chain is designed like that. So if I am buying a magnet or an infotainment system from X and X is not able to supply, maybe a Y in Germany can supply. So, like talking about Bosch, Bosch has an Indian factory which gives all those sensors, infotainment, and all those things. But Bosch has a factory in Germany also. Bosch has some 6 or 7 factories abroad also. So maybe they don't have problem there and they have problem in India. So overall, the cost is a major issue. I don't think so that this problem will put a standstill to Indian auto like semiconductor did, because at that time COVID was working and we couldn't have those resources to move out. But today, majorly all auto OEMs have planned. Obviously, they have not executed. So I'm not saying, because as of today, the rare earth material is not affecting us. As of today, I'm not saying in the long run. So the dealers have a stock of around 50 to 60 days. Auto OEMs are carrying inventory in their plant for around 30 days, which means these are all fully made products. So maybe customer doesn't get affected in another 3 months, but yes, the manufacturer will may get affected in a month or so. So like I'm sure by June and July won't there'll be any issue in the manufacturing numbers coming out of OEMs for most of them. I cannot say about 100% of them, but most of them have their reserves for July end. But yes, if it is not solved till that time, it will create an issue. But I'm confident, maybe not direct, but they'll get indirect resources where their production is not halted. Means they'll procure these items like motor and all from somewhere in the world where there is not a problem. I feel I've answered you right or still left?
Right, right. It does answer. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So now coming to general auto, overall the sentiments on the ground. So till time what I've told you is different now. Sentiments on the ground are subdued. So basically the kind of inquiries dealers generated as compared to last year or as compared to month on month is going down by around 10%. So March to April, our inquiries went down by 10%. April to May, it went down by 10%. May to June is a bit less, but it's again going down because why? Because it can't go 10% down every month. And overall, we are down in inquiries. We are down in booking, but the conversions aren't that badly affected still. But yes, slowly and steadily it is affecting. Why I'm saying this? Because we are still growing. We are not started degrowing. Maybe some manufacturers will be degrowing, but as an auto industry, we are still growing. And if our queries and bookings start going down, and if they go down on a consecutive month-on-month basis for 3 to 4 months, then we start degrowing because normally a vehicle purchase, the inquiry to closure, uh, no doubt it's as less as 15 days or so, but normally it's around 3 months. When a customer thinks of buying a vehicle, he comes in, he's indecisive, he takes around 5 days, 10 days, 15 days, checking all the vehicles, then closing in on booking. And if the vehicle is there, then going for finance, which means if the vehicle is available, he gets a vehicle any time from 15 days to around 45 days. But if the vehicle, what he wants is not available, and if he orders specifically for that vehicle, so another 15, 20 days. So basically from 15 days to 60 days is what cycle takes from an inquiry coming and closures. So that is why I'm saying that it's still not affected us in the conversion rate. We are still growing. But the way inquiries are going down and even bookings are going down is not a good sign for coming months. So July, August, a bit of September, not sure 100% September because this time September will see Navratri also, which is a festive period. No doubt August will also see festive period and uh, the things of Ganesh Chaturthi and then Onam, everything starts. But the what is the current situation is we are not looking very positive towards July and August. Normally, annually, these 2 3 months are down, but they are more down as compared to their average cyclical down. So that is where the auto industry currently is struggling. And with the kind of external factors which you all are aware of, is it is hitting towards more uh, that direction to plan for. Uh, I feel I have covered most of it what I thought, but any questions or anything I've left, please tell me. I'll cover it that also.
Perfectly. So there are certain questions from the audience. I'll take
Yeah,
those one by one. So obviously names you are at your discretion, you want to name or not. But one question is, which are pure EV component manufacturers for two-wheelers which are increasing market shares?
first, you will have to find out anybody who is making batteries in India for two wheelers, anybody who is making motors in India for two wheelers, are the component manufacturers who will see greater growth. Because these are the two parts which not many component manufacturers are making in India. So they are importing, but so like cell level manufacturing still has not started in India. So everything is being imported, packed, and then being supplied. So any organization who is into BMS, battery management system, battery, um, now because of motors, and all those things, they are the component manufacturers to look forward to. Uh, if I talk about cars, I feel if you want to, I'm not naming it, but because it's not in India, BYD is one company which is now supplying the most advanced batteries to all car manufacturers. People are shifting from the old battery system, battery items, so battery as a component, to BYD that what they have launched some blade scale battery system, which is very safe and it's very fireproof and all that. So most of the OEMs who are launching better products want to use that battery. So I feel you will have to do that research on it.
Right. So one question is, tell us your understanding about ether energy. How good is the product and how much is the localization?
I feel if I talk about two-wheeler industry and I want to compare it with the car industry, see, Ather is the only brand which we can say as a luxury premium brand in two-wheelers. So their technology is really awesome. Their R&D is great. They are not into launching and making, or you can say they are not into volume. They are into quality, and that is helping them out in that way. So overall, Ather is a very good company, but I don't see Ather becoming number one or running for market share in the electric vehicle as of now. Maybe in future, maybe, but not today. Today they are more bothered about quality and all those things, and uh, the product is great. The product, the quality and the product is great. Their support system is very great. So there are dealer systems is awesome. So you can compare with any a good Indian auto company regarding the support to the customer and the quality of the product.
One question is, any impact on welding and line automation solutions providing vendors to OEMs?
Frankly, I don't know the base of this question because as of now, this is not even in chatter when we talk about the problems what OEMs or the auto industry current has.
Right. So another question is, India ICE two-wheeler gets huge volume from export. Can EV export can be equally great going forward? And how is Indian two-wheeler, electric two-wheeler compared to global players?
So, frankly, uh, good to have, but we are not capable enough today because all the Indian two-wheeler electric vehicle is majorly based on imports. So imports of material, imports of technology, imports of software or whatever. So we are not self-reliant in making it, and most of the vehicles are actually not our designs also. They have been working with a technical know-how, or like TVS, they have bought a company somewhere outside. They're using those products and all those things. So to reach that level, first we'll have to have our own strengths in the current market. So like today, Bajaj exports motorcycle because they are the best in motorcycles in India and they know the motorcycles. Their R&D page is huge and they have matured that market. They've taken really long time to do that. TVS exports two-wheeler. Bajaj exports three-wheeler. So they have their strengths in that. So whatever the product they are exporting, it's their own product. The R&D is there. They have made that product from scratch. Whereas if I talk about two-wheeler EVs, no auto OEM can say that they have made it from scratch. There are still uh, industries or external people who are part of it. So I would love this to happen, and most probably this will surely happen. I'm not saying it would not happen, but not so early because we still have not stabilized this market in India. We are still improving our product in India. We are still trying to launch new products. Another 2, 3 years when we have stabilized the product in India, no doubt battery is one component which will always be important. But whatever is not available in India and the rest we are able to make in India with our own R&D and develop a quality product, I'm sure then exports will see. But it's not a near future.
So from the existing, which Indian players you believe are ahead in terms of electric two-wheeler localization?
Tough to say because see, the major two parts of the any two-wheeler EV comes from import, which is battery. So there could be that people are getting some material and then making cells in India, or buying cells and then making that, packing in India, or what all. Even the BMS today, we don't have an Indian company which masters this. Even if they are, so then there is a support from somewhere outside of India. I'm not naming the country, but somewhere outside of the India. So, uh, best local, I don't know which, but uh, any good company which is working towards more is like Ather or Bajaj. These are the two companies which are really doing the R&D, and they must be the best percentage. See, as per FAME subsidy, there is a clause of 40% and 50%, and everybody says that they are. That is why the subsidy is being passed by to the customer when they get it. But on the other hand, even Hero Electric and Okinawa also committed, and they are in a big soup today. So commit actually understanding that how much percentage is local and how much percentage is being imported today is very difficult to tell. But if you see Bajaj Chetak, the overall product, you feel it looks like an Indian product, or even Ather. Rest of the products, you feel like it's some assembling from outside, or some face something which has come from outside. So, if you want me to answer which will be the best company who can export from India to wheeler, I feel Bajaj and Ather can do that better than anybody else, or even TVS also, because TVS has really mastered iQ. It's a very good product, but the scooterette market normally is not very prevalent in the world. It is prevalent, but it is prevalent in the undeveloped or a developing market, maybe like Thailand or South Africa or something like it. But whereas the motorcycle is still required by the developed countries also. Maybe the CC goes up, but still that type of vehicle movement is there. So if electric vehicle two-wheeler has to be exported, it has to be premium thing. And these are the two companies which are still working on that. And more or less everybody would be similar in localization. They would be a tad higher than others.
Perfect. Although it has been partly answered, so the question is, though GDP now back to 7%, but four-wheeler sales seems low. So when you believe the strong pickup in the four-wheeler sales, and any sense on the product mix in sense of PV and non-EV?
I feel the auto will grow strongly again from October. Normally, the H1, which is April to September, is sees lower growth from than compared to October to March, and this has been regular. And this time H1 is disturbed by a lot of external factors. No doubt GDP growth, as you said, is normal or it's good, but auto is still not seeing that growth happening. Uh, from October onwards, you'll start seeing that. So if you want to see dispatches from September onwards, you'll start seeing the growth from manufacturing side. The retail side will start growing in October. And whatever happens, I feel auto industry is here to stay, and by 2030, nobody can stop it to have a CAGR of around 6-7%. So that's there because we are growing. There are a lot of research happening, a lot of things happening, a lot of money is coming. Hyundai IPO is one thing. JSW MG is another thing. There are a lot of VinFast is coming. There are a lot of interest, a lot of money pouring in auto. And if I compare the car industry per thousand, we are some 30, 35, and one of the lowest in the top 10 developed country or top 10 auto countries in the world. So we see a major growth coming from that side. So it could be momentarily when we are getting affected because uh, there is this, like I told you, rare earth, India, Pakistan, a lot of things. So a lot of things got affected, and that has affected the auto industry also major.
And although we spoke at length, but when it comes to rare earth export, which country you believe apart from China is in a better position, or it's too early to say anything?
See, China controls around 70% rare earth material physically and 90% through their control. So 10% is all across world. So I don't see any one country uh, coming up big on this. But yes, I feel uh, Australia, Canada, or a bit of Japan can be better off than others. But I can't say that they will be the front runners against China for rare earth material. But they are better off than others. And if seriously Indian government is able to harness our rare earth material and IREL is able to work with support from technical collaboration from these countries, maybe another 3 years, 4 years down the line, we can also become a source for this in future. But it's very early stages to talk about this because, see, very frankly, uh, it's a very small requirement of these materials. No doubt it's making a big difference in the market. So I don't know how many know. There were times when Tata trucks were delivered without tires, or without motors, or without fuel pumps, because requirement was huge, and the commercial truck fleet owners used their own old turbos or old fuel pumps to get the new vehicle because vehicle was required and fuel pumps were in shortage because of some other thing. So I'm not saying it can happen today, but it can happen that OEMs can shift. So like when semiconductor issues came in, you must remember there are a lot of car companies which cut down in features, and only top model had some features. So obviously top model availability was not there, but start model or the entry model or the mid model was available, but with less features. So if this problem continues, we'll have to reset somewhere our working style. So something like magnets and all with a must we can't change, but maybe infotainment we can have less feature in the mid model with less price and all those things. So we'll have to reset things. But as of today, every auto manufacturer, even government also, is on a wait and watch situation. So let's see if things solve it out because we still have July end till to solve this out, and then take a drastic decision like removing features from the uh, higher up models.
Thanks, helpful. So another question from Saran is like he's asking, how do you see the bearing industry going forward, and are there any differentiated players to your mind?
See, bearing industry will not have a problem. If auto industry grows, bearing industry will also grow. And frankly, today the component industry in India is seeing better growth than auto OEMs. I don't follow a lot their shares and market and all that, but I have friends. So even today we met a lot of people at Sanjay Kapoor's prayer meeting. Everybody is positive because they are not. So originally, what happened pre-COVID, they were 90% based for Indian manufacturers. Their supplies were going to 90% Indian manufacturers. Today, they have all now slowly and steadily shifted to 40% plus exports. So they are supplying to world over. So not even bearing. I know one of the Bangalore-based component manufacturer which makes components only for ICE engines. So anybody would think then that their days are gone because now we are shifting to EVs. But as per me, they just a year back they launched a factory in Brazil or US for making connecting rods, and they are growing. So auto is there to stay, and component manufacturers will get benefit because now India 4 million vehicles is huge for anybody to do an R&D or prove their product. We are now the third largest in the world. So, and that is helping them in exporting and even setting up plants abroad, which are helping them. So, not specific to bearing, I don't know which industry is suggesting to which company or what, but overall, even with this ICE and EV shifting, I don't see any issue in any component manufacturer who has pegged their risk ability towards India and abroad both. Any OEM, any component manufacturer who is 100% based on India, he may grow less, but anybody who has both the things in hand, some supply in India, some supply outside, their growth will continue. There will be no stoppage. It could be a short term up or down, but I know a lot of component OEM which are growing and improving their profitability, just not based out of in India, basing the exports also.
Okay. So, any view about compulsory AC implementation for later this year? Will this lead to front loading of sales and later maybe a tepid growth after
You are talking of
implementation?
commercial vehicle.
Yes.
I feel it's a good thing, and uh, frankly, I feel maybe the front loading happens for a month, but it will become a backloading because the truck operators will now get heat from the drivers who don't get a vehicle which are not AC. So you may get benefit to companies like Sandon who will be fitting air conditioning to the cabins of current vehicles which are being driven. So think of it like if I have a 500 fleet truck and I buy 50 fleet in Jan or Feb with air conditioned cabins. So my other 450 drivers will start complaining because it's not just AC. The cabin quality improvement needed to fit an AC is a next level because one, it has to be a block of vacuumed air type of a thing because you have to close the cabin all across, which means it will help in sound reduction also. And the government's norms gives a lot of things. So driver, two drivers, one cleaner, what type of comfort and all those things. So maybe the single fleet owner or a small fleet owner will buy vehicles because the vehicles are getting costlier. But on the other hand, once those vehicles 2, 3, 4 months down the line are in the or in running, they'll get a setback because other drivers will start asking the similar kind of vehicle, and no fleet owner has that capacity to buy to replace all his fleet in a year also. So obviously, somewhere he'll have to differentiate. So if it's a longer run, uses new vehicle or gets ACs fitted in the cabins and give the parity to the drivers. This was long awaited, but obviously it's been delayed because commercial vehicle wasn't doing good. Now, even today, they are not growing double digit. They are stable and growing around 4 5%. But this is coming, and maybe we see a month or a two issue when the prices go up because of that. But on the other hand, I'll also tell you, if you remember, six airbags issues started when Maruti clearly said that if six airbags are implemented, our entry level will be a problem, vehicle prices will go up. But because of those six airbags, nothing happened. The prices did go up, but it didn't go up substantially. Because one thing which may cost, so six airbags means every airbag cost around 3,500 or 5,000, which means 30,000. It doesn't mean when you put six airbags in all the 1 lakh vehicles you manufacture, you'll get it done the 30,000. Because the economies of of the scale will, from that 30,000, it will come down to 15,000. And you can absorb some part to launch it and slowly take the price increase. So it didn't affect the six airbags. Now Maruti is launching all their product with six airbags, whatever new products are coming, not the old. So I don't think so. So initial small hitches will do surely come, but in the long run, it will be a beneficial for CV industry. Many side because with the driver's comfort, they'll be able to have the vehicle on time. The efficiency will improve. The productivity will improve. Because most of the time, when drivers brake, they want to see a charpai under a tree to rest because they have sweated a lot in the cabin, and those sound and pollution coming in. All thing will become a past once the air conditioned cabin starts. They'll be feeling more fresh, and they'll give you better efficiency and productivity. So I feel it's a good thing to happen, except for a short term break.
Makes sense. And ABC policy, like how much of impact you see and who you believe are going to be beneficiaries. One, two companies literally shot up in the recent, obviously, trading we are not concerned about, but in sync with the opportunity size, how it can impact and your overview of overall views about
Uh,
doing it mandatory.
you're talking about ABS in two wheelers or something else. Yeah,
Right, sir.
okay, sorry. So, see, again, the same story like this. We do some 20 lakh, 15 to 20 lakhs vehicle per month, depending on which month we are. Uh, at any day, the price would not make a big difference. Even today, we have ABS vehicles. So, you want to buy a Bajaj Pulse, Bajaj Discover or a Platina before when it was there. So, we had a ABS brake and non-ABS brake, and there were customers who were buying both. And still, wherever the premium OEMs are there or premium products are there, people are still buying an ABS. So it's nothing new in the market. It's already there. I don't have the right number with me, but I'm sure around 20% plus products already have ABS brakes in the products what we are selling. So I don't see a major problem here. Now again, you have to research which are the OEMs which are making, or component manufacturer which are making brakes, and which are them who make ABS brakes and successful in ABS brakes. Those are the company which you'll look forward to investing and seeing a major growth coming down there. Uh, One thing is very clear: if you are following auto, the road safety, the vehicle safety, the passenger safety is, as of today, the first uh, focus of the government. A lot of discussions are happening and things are going ahead where it is. And this will, so not only ABS, anything you can study where the safety can be improved, you'll find it. So, like with ABS, two helmets is also being discussed to be launched. So, helmet companies, you have to find what are the helmet companies which are making in India, Starts and whatever, Steelbird, which company you follow. You'll have to see and how do they have the capacity. Don't just see the company. See if they have the capacity to build so many things every month. So if a month sells 15 lakh two wheelers and two helmets are must, so we need 30 lakh helmets every month. And if anybody is making 5 lakh helmets, do they have the capacity to double it to 10 lakh or 15 lakh or not? If they have the capacity, good enough. That's a company to go ahead for. If they don't have the capacity, even they are making great problem. So there are OEMs like Trump or Triumph or Ducati. They want to import helmets and give it to their customers. Not allowed because they are not ISI improved. So again, you have to check which companies are ISI approved and how things will go ahead. So road safety, these are the major things coming up. So you have to follow what else we are looking at uh, on the road safety. Even one alliance, Bharat Alliance for Road Safety, is being launched as a non-profit organization where government is supporting public partnership to improve. So that is the focus. Find out what and where you can invest. I don't know if it is a short-term invest or long-term, but you have to study them.
Right, sir. So before we ask for concluding remarks, one thing has been doing rounds in Delhi that from September onwards, only EVs will be allowed. Is there any substance in that news, or it's like more of a humor kind of thing?
So, boss, uh, Delhi government is in a real, I'll not say in confusion state, but it's in real problem on the communication strategy type. So the transport department doesn't know what the minister want or the chief minister wants. So there are some advisors who are working with them. They advise it, and yes, they. But whenever such statement comes, as dealers, we approach the transport minister or transport department, and they say that is there any official statement from our side? No, but there are a lot of media who is publishing things. So there is no order, nothing. But yes, whatever you are reading, it is there in mind. It will happen. I'm not saying those are all rumors. Those have some strengths, but it is not the same what you are reading. So like EVs will be must in Delhi, not possible. We can't do it. But yes, they are thinking of that if you as an owner own two vehicle and both are ICE, so third vehicle you have to buy an EV. It can't be ICE again. Similar, they're talking about if you have parking, you cannot buy. But is this implementable? I don't think so. Is that implement that your third vehicle has to be EV? Why? I don't know how, because I live in Delhi. I have my wife. I'll take vehicle in my wife's name, my son's name, my servant's name, my office name, my Greater Noida college name, or my Haryana dealership name. How can government stop me to drive a legal vehicle to come to Delhi? But yes, their intentions are right. They want to control pollution, and in controlling, they are wanting to control. So, two, three things will happen 100%, which is one is on the commercial side where the permits are required. Those will become 100% EVs. I don't know when, but the date will be announced. There's no uh, government order as of today for that, but yes, it will happen 100%. Nobody can stop that. On the commercial side, which could be commercial fleet owners like cars or loading or buses or everything. It would be that. Uh, like from, I feel 1st January, they have announced that they'll not let 10 years more diesel and 15-year more diesel petrol to be able to fill petrol diesel from Delhi. Uh, a very good move because we are not allowed to drive also, but there are still vehicles which come from out from there or are being driven inside without proper enforcement, they'll have to face problem. So overall, Indian Delhi government is hell bent upon to improve the pollution, and in that process, they'll put in some restrictions. But the restrictions 100% would be there on the commercial side. In the private side, there will be some restrictions and more mandatory things which will happen. So if you are in Delhi, any vehicle which is parked outside more than 10 years of diesel and 15 years of petrol, uh, it's being picked up by scrap owners and you can't take it back. It's being picked up. So that's the first thing what they have done. Obviously, it is not being driven, but it's standing there. It's while being standing there, it is depreciating and creating more environment problem and more space problem. So they are hell bent upon this and they will do it. But till when and what is the government order? Even I'm not aware.
Fair point, sir. So, sir, before we close for the day, to summarize or maybe any concluding remarks, and indeed, the session so far has been really insightful, and those who are looking up to the auto sector benefited a lot. Yeah, please.
So, guys, whatever I say is from my ground reality as a dealer, as an auto expert, or as a whatever relationship I have. So, like once I talked to an analyst and I said there'll be no growth in this manufacturer, and he gave me his story. He said, "ठीक है, as per you there is no growth, but for me it is because even if they sell the same number of vehicle and there is a price increase annually of 4%, I'll see that 4% growth happening in their balance sheet, for which I'll work as an analyst. So please take care of what you see how. For me, it's normally volume, not value when I talk about auto company. Second, auto industry is in a very right place today. Uh, Growth is 100%. So you will not see your investment being washed off. All the auto companies today, components or even the OEMs, they're all on solid footing. Slowly and steadily in the world, the EV phase is, I'll not say people are not accepting it, but EV phase is going down. They are working towards more alternative energy like hydrogen or others. Hybrid is not the future. Hybrid is stopgap. Nobody's working on hybrid as of now. People are talking about hybrid, but nobody's putting huge money on hybrid. People are putting huge money on EV and hydrogen or some alternative energy in the future. So world over is looking towards India to have better imports on the product or come to India and manufacture. So overall, auto industry is in a right stage, in a growing stage. I'm not sure which manufacturer will give you double return in an year or two, but any manufacturer you choose, if they are on a right path and they have that thinking right, the growth is there. Nobody can stop that, and I'm happy. I'm blessed to be in this industry.
Perfect, sir. And we totally agree with the statement you made in the end. And we certainly want to be part of this growth story. And as you rightly said, the understanding from analyst point of view is different. But again, these data points are really helpful. They can do their maths. That is up to them. But again, a very, very helpful and to the point insightful session, sir. We appreciate your presence today as well and look forward to many more sessions going forward. And a shout out to all our attendees today. Please connect with the handle of Vinkesh, sir, and definitely we can push him more requests for his time for such enriching and helpful sessions. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for inviting me, and thanks to everybody who is listening. Hope I could make a bit of a difference. You are open to uh, uh, DM me in Twitter if there is any question. I'll be happy to answer.
Perfect. And you guys can simply put a tweet and tag it, sir, or even the DM is open.